Warning Army is constantly saying their favorite band saved rock and roll. Now that's a pretty big claim, so let me show you the data that makes me think they might actually be right. But this band, The Warning, they're three sisters, no label, no radio play, they did everything on social media. So my assumption was they would just have a younger audience, right? But the comments on my videos about The Warning didn't add up. It was dudes in their 60s and 70s, and they're talking about The Warning as if they had just rediscovered Led Zeppelin. So I assumed those dudes were the outliers. I mean, every band has their share of older fans, right? I went to a couple of K-pop concerts last year, and I saw some older fans there. And no, I wasn't looking in the mirror. Rude. But I remembered that YouTube channels do have some demographic data. So I went into my YouTube analytics to find out who is actually here and who is watching my videos about The Warning. I made a reaction video to the album Arab, and the people who showed up to watch that video, 96% male, and 87% of them are over 45 years old. So the younger audience that I assumed was there watching these Warning videos, not there at all. And on another video I made about The Warning's superpower of playing live, totally different type of video, but it was the exact same audience. 96% male, 86% over 45, and the largest bracket again was 55 to 64-year-olds. And that pattern repeats across every video I've done about The Warning. The slice of viewers who I thought were the outliers are actually the whole pie. The YouTube analytics data told me a little bit about who they are, but I didn't really know why they were here. So then I dug back into the comments. So once I started reading them as the majority of the people watching the videos, then the saving rock claim started to make more sense. Richard said, "I'm one of many old guys who thought that the rock and roll I grew up with loving and living was dead and buried in corporate formulaic dreck. Then I accidentally clicked on Dust to Dust, Dull Knives, and I haven't been so captivated by a band since 1964. Corporate formulaic dreck, or maybe music that sounds like it was made in a factory." And then he stumbled onto something he thought was real and reminded him of music from the 60s. And then Bobby said, "I'm just a private in this army of believers. I'm 71. Yep, 71. These ladies may have single-handedly brought back rock and roll through sheer talent." Trace Westcott said, "Proud 77-year-old Warning fan here. I'm seeing them live this year in both LA and New York. 77 years old, he's going to 2 shows on opposite ends of the country." So I could dismiss one 70-something-year-old saying that this band brought back rock and roll, maybe 2 or 3 70-year-olds saying that. But when so many of the comments are saying the same thing, and the data that I have at least, right, just for my channel, confirms what they're saying. And some of these people have been listening to rock and roll music for 50 years. That's not a handful of retirees, that's a movement. So the question, are The Warning saving rock and roll? Now when it comes to the charts and the streaming numbers, and apparently for people under 25, no. But are The Warning saving rock and roll for some people? Yes. The Warning saved rock and roll for the dudes in my comments. The 45 and up crew who stopped expecting anything new and went back to their old classic rock playlists and vinyl. Then they found The Warning, went down the rabbit hole, watched every single YouTube video about The Warning, and wrote me a comment with 5 paragraphs and 13 links at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night, which is either proof that the ladies in this band were born 40 years too late, or proof that men over 50 have way too much time on Tuesday nights. Both. It's both. If you're wondering how these 3 teenagers pulled that off with no label and no radio play, then I think you'll like this video about their superpowers.